podcast not for you. Jake just left.
I don't know if you started editing yours, but the audio sounds really good. There's like no splash.
Oh yeah, no. I think being able to see the waveforms when we're recording and yeah, it's super helpful, I think. And
yeah, mm-hmm.
The sound is going into these pads.
Puppies.
Yes. Okay. Hello.
Always forget.
I do, yeah. Hello.
Wes is like, please clap. Please clap. It's gonna save you like 30 minutes.
I need validation. Please clap. All right.
In case you forgot, we're
Welcome
doing video.
To This Podcast Is Not For You. I am Jake.
I am Wes.
I am also Wes.
Who's the real Wes? That's the one that's what we're going to be talking about today.
You'll never know.
Not really. We are, if you're watching on video, you'll see.
YouTube exclusive content here.
If you're watching on any podcast platform, you probably also already know because you clicked on the episode. We're talking about vinyl today. The favorite records in our collection. Now, the thing about our favorite records is I just wanted to talk about a little bit about why we like them and what makes them so special to us. Because I feel like sometimes it's a physical musical medium. So sometimes it can be a specific idea that's tied to. It is so hard to talk.
Sorry.
Dude, no, it's insanely hard to emote when you're not moving. Yeah. It's crazy.
I was hearing you struggle trying to be serious while being frozen.
It was crazy.
YouTube exclusive content.
Oh my god.
This is going to be a heavy YouTube exclusive content episode.
It is. If vinyl interests you at all, I do think, please, obviously, listen to the episode if that's what you prefer. But we've got a stack of our favorite records here with us, and we're going to go through and showcase them and explain sort of why we like them, whether that be the design, the insert, it's 180 gram, I've got it autographed, all this other stuff. And so I do think this one is best served visually. Cold and visually, so if you could go outside in, middle of the night, then you'd be a little chilly and you'd be watching the episode. So I would just watch it if I could, but we appreciate you just supporting the podcast whenever and wherever and however. So, but that is...
Don't worry, you're going to get a full audio description of every one of these records, too.
But Wes does make a good point. It is going to be a very YouTube exclusive heavy content episode. So, to start off, 4 minutes in. Mm-hmm. When did you guys start collecting? And it's not necessarily collecting, right? But when did you guys start purchasing vinyl? I
would defer to Wes, too. Wes number 2.
Oh, cool.
You're not even the original.
I know. That's really disappointing.
I kind of said mine first.
Yeah. I am...
Go ahead, Wes, too.
Much more recent to the... vinyl game. I didn't have a record player for a very long time, and I just didn't really want to spend the money on it, and I knew it was kind of expensive to get into initially, getting a good sound system and getting a record player. But my brother, Peyton, who's not here tonight, for my wedding, got me an Audio-Technica record player.
Wow.
And
he sounds really nice.
He's okay. For my birthday, this recent birthday in February, my parents and my brother Peyton, who is also not here, got me some really nice Klipsch. Is that how it's said? Klipsch. Has anyone heard of this brand?
I have.
Yeah. Those speakers for my record player. I was just going off of a sound bar that I have for my TV. So now I have nice speakers for it. But I didn't really start buying until maybe 2 years ago. Maybe I bought one record, which I'm going to talk about a while ago, just because I wanted it and it was available. I was like, it'd be a cool collector's thing, not intending to start a collection. So I am pretty new to it. I stole a lot of records from my dad's collection that he doesn't care about anymore.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I'm the newbie here, I think.
How many would you say that you have? Ballpark.
Probably, including all of Dad's that I took, which was quite a bit, probably like 30.
Nice.
Ones that I have purchased, maybe like 15, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Beautiful.
What about you, Wes number 1?
Me being
Peter 3.
the first Wes, I started collecting records in college. I believe, I don't know if I could give a year. I know the first record I got was Continuum by John Mayer. I basically requisitioned Dad's audio techniques turntable. It was not being used ever, really.
Just
so I
sitting
was
in our
like, you know
downstairs
what?
room.
I want to buy records for this and then eventually buy it from Dad. So
Basically,
I
we
started,
just stole from our parents, from Dad, quite a bit of stuff.
But I started, the record player was already there and I was living at home. So by proxy, I had a record player to play things on. So I think probably like 2012 or 13 is probably when I started collecting. And my deal was I'm only going to get my absolute favorite records because they're very expensive. I mean, if you're getting a double, I mean, that can be 30, 35, 40 pretty easily. So I've really just, it was the same thing I did with Blu-rays. Like I bought a ton very early and now I'll buy one once a year probably. My favorite records. Like if one's getting re-released or it was out of stock or a new one is being released, that it's like, yeah, I really want to buy that. So it slowed down quite a bit. I'd say I probably have 60 or 70, something like that total.
Nice. That's probably right around when I got into it as well. I was rooming with Christian at Ozark, and so it would have been probably 2012, and he was like, hey, they're having this record store day at Vintage Talk or whatever, and that was long before you knew that record store day was like a national thing. And I was like, what the heck? So we went and it's interesting. I also remember the first vinyl that I purchased, which is funny. Mine was Never Take Friendship Personal by Anne Boleyn.
Okay.
So I saw that and I was like, whoa, I love this record. And so I bought it. And it's a very, very small idea. And that's probably when I started, and I got a little cheap Crosley $40 turntable and
Scratched up all those records.
Yeah, so that's when I probably started collecting. I probably have I have 100 and something maybe.
Yep.
Each section of it probably holds 40 or 50, and it's not completely full, but yeah. So I'd say I probably have like 100 something, low 100 maybe. But yeah, what drew me to vinyl, especially over the years, is the tangibility of it. It's very, you can hold it and appreciate it in terms of the thing I loved, especially in 2012, is like I still usually don't stream, but I listen to things digitally. So whether I own the CD and ripped it, whether I bought the vinyl and got the MP3s. So I loved that it was a pairing of the two, whereas a CD, it can live in your car, and then no one really has a CD stereo system set up in their house anymore. And don't get me wrong, some people obviously do, but so then this way I was like, oh, I can still listen to this at home. It still gives me the digital download, and I can really like appreciate, and as I'm sure as you guys like have got more into it, the inside of the jacket, this one is really cool. As when I bought Never Take Friendship Personal by Anne Boleyn, I wasn't thinking about any of that. So what drew you guys to vinyl?
Would you like Wes? Which Wes would you like to answer?
Wes.
Okay. For me, it was the quality of sound. No, I think a misnomer about vinyl records is that they're like crackly and vintage and have to be lesser, when they're actually higher quality sound than CD or anything digital. You can get you get a more rich sound on vinyl because you have a higher high end and a lower low end on vinyl. You know this because you had to send different mixes for vinyl record pressing specifically for the Me Like Bees record. Yeah. So they're mixed completely differently, and they have to be. So to me, it was always a technical thing. And there's something, you're right. I mean, there is the physical element. That's definitely a huge part of it. I think the main thing to me was the technical side of how much better they do sound. And if you do it, you can A/B them against like a stream on Spotify or something, and you can hear the difference. So if you're interested in getting into vinyl, I would say consider doing that at least. Like go to a friend's house who has one, listen to, you know, on the same speakers, a stream, and then listen to a vinyl record, and you'll hear the difference. And you'll be like, yeah, if you love music, you know, then it's worth it, I think. So that's what drew me.
Cool.
Wes.
For me, I think it was, I like the large art, like, and the fact that some of them have like variations on the album art, like it's its own release almost.
Yes.
Like the new Chili Peppers record, I think it was you that was telling me like the mix of the new Chili Peppers record is direct from the master tapes.
Yeah.
It didn't go through any kind of digital intermediary, and it's going to be a different thing than the CD or the.
It will be a different
digital
recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one I'm looking at right now is different than the CD version, the one on top here that we'll talk about.
Yes.
And so that aspect of it's really cool, and it's also something cool to have as like a part of your house, like a centerpiece in your house. It's my record player
is a living room thing,
sitting in my living room center, and I've got a display that you got me where I can put what's playing on, and it's like an additional piece of art almost that can change in and out. In addition to just they're just cool, like they're
dude, it's insane.
Yeah, we can talk about the technology. I think that's like a huge part of it too.
It's
that's what you're talking about, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's insane. Because I remember when I got my new Audio-Technica player, I didn't know you needed an amp and speakers. And so I turned it on, and it was spinning. And it was like nothing was coming out. And then I was like, and I could barely hear something. And that's what's insane is if you put your ear...
You can hear it.
It is, if you turn the speaker all the way down, if you have one of these systems at home, turn the speakers all the way down, get in a quiet environment, and you can hear the actual music coming from the plastic.
Yeah, because it's scratching, the needle is on there, and there's a microphone. That's what it is. It's a
so
microphone
crazy.
picking it up and amplifying it. So it's not like...
so yes, it's very cool.
Yeah.
It's crazy that the technical aspect of a vinyl is old, but feels somehow
more advanced.
Yeah.
Like the idea that a groove in a piece of vinyl can replicate music is, I don't even understand it.
I think part of that is like the technical aspect of a digital recording is superior in terms of like advancement. There's no question.
Sure.
But you get to see it happening. I think that's the thing with a record is like it's like a mechanical, ice maker or something.
Right.
It's like you're seeing that thing happen now right in front of you. Whereas the vinyl is that way. It's like you're seeing the technology in front of you, whereas it's going into a chip and back out of a chip.
Yeah.
On a computer, you know.
I think the other thing I like about it is I like the ability to, when I get a new record, playing it, being able to like look through everything and kind of explore, read the lyrics along with it, or just explore how the art is different, or it's like, man, this is a really great high quality. I didn't bring it, but like the Audio Slave first record, when you open up the gatefold, it's just this huge picture of them in the middle, and it's just like
it's more immersive.
And it's really high quality, and it's just something about the physical aspect of this big piece of art,
and
that someone created. It's a full package of someone's artwork, their music, and the cover, like the inserts, all of that stuff.
Yeah, and part of it is the experience too, because like when we all got our life forms, we were like, dude, the space packaging is crazy, and we were like, dude, this is, because I'd never seen that.
Right.
And then you open it, and a couple days later, Wes is like, dude, it's like, I still can't get over how cool like the lyric book is, and just like, and
super high quality.
I wish the lyrics were good, but yes, the lyric book is cool, and so it's like, it's this like experience more.
And
It's
that
the-
one we
let's
got
put
like
it
a
this way.
sleeve that's signed separate from a
Yeah.
sleeve that's not. And I was like, that's really clever
Yeah.
on their part to release it that way, you know?
Put it this way. It's the most multimedia music can be.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most multimedia experience music can be to you, I think.
You have something physical, you have a
Yeah.
digital download of it.
Yeah.
You've got the physical thing playing as well. Yeah.
Obviously, a music video
Some
is
of
going
them
to be
have
part of that.
holograms.
But I think
True.
it's, multi-dimensional, let's say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
We've got a stack of records in front of us, and we're going to each talk about what we love about it. We're going to open it up, maybe show some YouTube exclusive content. Whose is the first one here?
This one is mine. This
Okay.
is Consolers of the Lonely. I think this is a great one to start with because I don't think you can talk about the resurgence of vinyl without mentioning
Third
Jack
Man
White
Records.
and Third
Yeah,
Man
sorry.
Records. Jack White and Third Man Records have been doing crazy. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just looks like I'm a head coming out of the vinyl.
Oh, sorry. I didn't cover
No,
Jack.
that's totally fine.
So Jack
Bit of
White
a
has
ground.
been a really big pioneer in bringing vinyl back to people, I think, everything the White Stripes ever came out with is on vinyl.
And then some.
And then some. He's been, I think, instrumental in especially independent people making music and putting on a vinyl.
And he's been vocal about it too. It's not just like
Right.
he's just doing it. He's actively talking about
Yeah.
how important
This
it
one
is.
specifically, though, is a vault package vinyl. It is a reissue. It was exclusive. So a vault package is basically this, and I know a number of people are doing this now, where it is a monthly subscription or quarterly subscription, I think, and it's I think it's like $60, and you get this crazy whatever it is every quarter, a crazy re-release of something White Stripes, of something Raconteurs, of something Jack White.
And now they're even doing just random stuff.
Yeah, people that they've published. So this one is Consolers of the Lonely. This is the second record of the Raconteurs. I did not own this before, and this is what I've been doing kind of with variants. Is
Got a double gatefold here
gatefold.
with a large
And
panoramic
this is
image
all,
on the back.
This is all new art for this release. This was not part of the original release.
Except for this photo, right?
The photo is the same. The coloring's different.
Mm-hmm.
And this came with a bunch of inserts. That came with a patch, which I have in here still. Let me see if I can grab it. There's a bunch of stuff in here. I mean, there's all kinds of inserts.
Wasn't there like there wasn't a 12-inch, was there? Or not a...
No, this
Oh,
did
it
come
did.
with. This came with the single on their new record
Right.
at the time, so it was kind of a simultaneous release thing. I don't know. I really want to get the patch out for everyone, but anyway,
Well, there it
there it
is.
is. Okay, and then it is also the first gold foil thing that I got. So
and it's a lined insert.
it is
That's
a lined
nice.
insert. It's all very, very top of the line stuff. This is the patch. If anybody wants this patch, I would never put this on something. I think it's very cool. If anybody wants this patch and they're like, I'm a big Raconteurs fan, I would love that patch. You let me know in the comments or get it from our Patreon.
There we go.
Daddy, will you tell me the story about the chickens again?
Ew.
That's the first quote on this
That sounds right.
insert.
Anyway, I don't want to take up too much time on one vinyl, but
That's cool.
it is a special one. This is actually just my honorable mention one, but it is a really special one to me. So
Yeah, and I would say that's the best part is because Pate did mention it earlier a little bit. They can be kind of expensive. The best part is when you confidently can spend, 40, 45, 50 bucks on a record, and then you get something like this, and you're like, that was an absolute steal.
Yeah.
That's the best
Yeah.
feeling, know.
yeah, I don't even know what that would be selling for now. But
Right,
it's
'cause it was
I
probably
looked it up. It's
package.
like $150 now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, this one is mine. It is.
West 2, West 3.
This
Right.
is my first one. This is Black Holes and Revelations by Muse. This is the first record I ever bought. I bought this in college, just kind of almost as decoration in my apartment. I had it in a frame with like the record out and stuff. I also had a Muse poster that it went with at the time. But this is my favorite album, like probably of all time. And so I just thought I'd bring it out. It's very simple. There's nothing like crazy special about it except that it was the first one I ever got, and it's my favorite album.
Like I said, it's strange how we all remember that.
Yep.
And then...
And I feel like at the time we weren't even planning on having a bunch.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't planning on collecting
You're right.
a bunch of records, you know?
It's got very simple insert that just has a really classy photo of the band on it. And then all of the lyrics all on one side.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This one went in and out of a few stages. Like you had it framed once, right? And it was on the wall.
Yes.
And then you took it out. Then I had it for a little while because you didn't have any records. And then you got your record player and you're like, hey, can I get that?
Yeah, so this has been with me a while.
Yeah.
And just in various stages.
Yeah.
But nothing insane, but still special.
It's more about it's more about the memory of it.
Yeah.
And it's also just got great album art.
Yeah,
It's
it
one of my
does.
favorite covers. It's by the same guy that did all the Pink Floyd album covers. Strom.
My favorite album cover of all time is the I Wish You Were Here.
It's a great album cover.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my first one, Black Holes and Revelations by Muse.
Let's just get it out of the way. My first one that I'd like to talk about is my own record. It is Versus by Jake J. Thrill Bennett.
Jake, where is it available for purchase?
That's the thing, is it's not. This is not a sales pitch.
I'm pretty sure I looked this up and it was $150.
Oh.
It is not available online anywhere. That being said, of course I have a bajillion copies left at my house, so I'm not saying it's sold out. But this isn't a sales pitch. You currently can't buy this anywhere. But
Except our Patreon.
Except our Patreon. Yes, if you Patreon, it's in there. But I will say that I recorded and wrote this record specifically with the intention of putting it on vinyl because I loved the idea of... I was writing a 2-half record, and I loved the idea that long after I'm gone, long after I'm dead, this being the old dusty record that people see everywhere at thrift stores around town. I just loved that idea. And it's like just going into songwriting with the intention of these words will outlive you was so important to me. And if you can hold something that is timeless, not necessarily like a CD, because, we can't even sell CDs at shows anymore. I don't have a CD player in my house. My car doesn't even have one, and it's like, this seems more timeless, and so it's so important to me that it exists in the world, because the album cover absolutely nailed. I mean, no thanks to me, it was the photographer executed my idea perfectly. I think seeing this 12 by 12 is amazing. I think the insert I worked really, really hard on. The vinyl is random, and so it's like...
Which I believe mine's... I also, just to jump in, I brought my copy of Versus. I have 2 copies of Versus, actually.
I think one of those is supposed to be my copy
That's
of
how
it, but I
invaluable
haven't.
they are. Pate has 2 copies.
I haven't gotten it from you.
I think mine is Splatter. There was a line of splatters, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So then I got the insert that I mean, this took me forever to do. I did all handwritten thanks in there, and all the lyrics are in there, as well as the album credits and stuff. And
The quality of it's great.
I know, and so I had to, if I'm talking about vinyl and my favorites, just the idea that I can have this sitting on my shelf, and someone out there in 50 years will have it sitting on their shelf, and maybe they'll buy it for 99 cents because they think the cover is really cool or something. But I just love that idea, and so this is probably my favorite actually priceless record in my collection,
Absolutely.
Well, you said the price is 99 cents, so...
In 50 years.
Oh, okay.
So that's how many inflations
Inflation
are we going to
calculator.
How many inflations are we going to go through? But yeah, so that's my first one. Again, not a sales pitch.
But
Check out our Patreon.
But you can get it at this Patreon.
Patreon is probably not for you, /1. Pate's got another one up here.
Yes, this one. So this one is the score, the original motion picture soundtrack of First Man.
Sorry, I got it. It's fine.
This one.
Oh, it opens. Cool.
It does. It's a gatefold.
Oh, here.
Oh yeah.
It's a great middle one as well.
So this one, I just want to show the front one more time because this is what I saw this on the wall at Amoeba Records in Hollywood. We were all in LA for Wes's wedding, I believe, is when I got this.
Mm-hmm.
You got a sister-in-law and a record.
I did.
What a trip.
Yes. This was
equal weight
for sure.
I think this was the best movie of the year that it came out, and I think that had a big role. But the cover, I mean, look at the cover.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I love this little detail right up here. It's the fact that this rocket is overlaying along the border.
Oh yeah,
is so cool to me. And like this, it's cool because it's not an insert.
Right.
It's not the image isn't inset into the border.
Yeah,
it's overflowing, which I think is cool.
So I saw the image, and that's really what made me buy the record. Right?
It's got that classic movie poster, kind of like the old Star Wars posters.
So good.
This whole section is YouTube exclusive content.
And then the back's great too. It's all very classy. I'll just show the disc real quick. It looks like the moon. I mean, that's pretty cool
really
as well.
Cool.
So the story behind this one, you guys were a part of, but also I have really grown to love this soundtrack, which was kind of a byproduct of buying it to me because I was going for... the cover is worth buying.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's why so Amoeba is
like
huge.
up on the wall.
Amoeba is like a warehouse for media, records, Blu-rays, DVDs, CDs, everything. And they have some limited edition ones on the wall. And this was one of those. And I was way up there. I was like, I think I'm going to have to buy that. So
it's by Justin Hurwitz. I don't know if you said that or
no,
not.
I didn't. Yeah, he also did La La Land. He's done a number of other things. But I just thought it was interesting. Byproduct was I fell in love with the music, which I thought was good when I watched the movie. But listening to the soundtrack while working or cooking or whatever has really made me fall in love with it. So that can also happen.
It's cool.
We got another soundtrack. Back-to-back soundtracks.
Back-to-back.
This is the classiest vinyl I think I own. It's the soundtrack to Phantom Thread by Johnny Greenwood. I love this filmmaker, Paul Thomas Anderson. I've talked about him before on the podcast, but this movie, really, really great. And I love Johnny Greenwood's soundtracks. He's in Radiohead. Obviously, I'm a big Radiohead fan as well. But I got it, and I was like, man, this is just really classy and pretty. You've got just a really classy middle whenever it opens for the gatefold. But then the thing I found while looking at it is the insert is not just a normal insert. You have an actual book of piano sheet music from the soundtrack in it. It's not obviously the entire score, but
it's the theme, right? It's the main theme. Oh no,
it's multiple songs.
Okay.
Wes and Pate are holding the book up and they're flipping through it just for you guys following along audibly.
But whenever I got this and pulled this insert out and was like, holy crap, there's sheet music in it. That's so cool. I've never seen a vinyl that has done that before. And
Paul McCartney's done that a couple times.
Has he?
Yes.
Okay.
He, I know he did it with his most recent record, and then he has done it with, I think, some of his numbered records. I think 2 had music in it.
Well, his last one was numbered as well.
But it is super rare. I mean, for sure.
There's the back of it. But yeah, it's just really classy artwork.
Yes.
The music of it is absolutely beautiful.
I think it's objectively his best score.
Yes, it's not my favorite necessarily. I have a special place in my heart for both the Master and There Will Be Blood scores. Those aren't as fun to listen to just on their own. They're a bit more harsh. Right. This one's just beautiful all the way through. But yeah,
super thick.
The sheet music on the inside is really what put this one over for me.
It's almost like, and it's crazy because you purchased it and you said when I opened it and then found this, it's almost like every time you get one, it's like I wonder what's inside. It feels like this mystery box, you know.
Because when you order it, not every record, whenever you order it, has a full description of everything that's in it. It's just like, this is the soundtrack to Phantom Thread. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea what I was going to get when I bought the first band record.
Yeah. That's cool. My next one is Because the Internet by Childish Gambino. So I got this. This is the first release, first pressing from his website. So I just pre-ordered it. And I think it's special to me because I got him to autograph it. I saw him on the Because the Internet tour twice. Once in Springfield, Missouri at JQH, and I got to meet him. So there's
a photo.
It was very cool.
A Polaroid.
And the cool thing about this Polaroid is no photos were allowed. Mm-hmm. And I brought my camera, and he was on vocal rest, so he wasn't really talking that much, and he was talking like really quiet, you know, and like, I mean, imagine Donald Glover like being very soft spoken, and you know, and
he kind of is that way sometimes in interviews and stuff.
And his handler basically was like, hey, no pictures, just so you guys know, you can say something to him real quick, blah blah blah, and if you're ever in a meet and greet, FYI, you want to be last because then they never have to usher in the next person. So I know you're going to be excited, but meet and greet, you want to be last in line. And so I was last in line. And I was like, hey, and I got this one signed. I got 2 copies of Camp, his first record, because my buddy knew that I was going. He's like, please, can you take my copy of Camp? So I got his Camp signed. There's a Complex cover issue that he was on. Got that signed. And, you know, he was like, oh, man, you got it all. And I was like, yeah, I've been like a huge fan, you know. And so I was like, I have this Polaroid. I know your buddy over there said no pictures, but I was just wondering. He's like, yeah, since it's not digital, it's cool. And so I got a picture with him, which is crazy. And the record, so that whole experience kind of made it one of my favorites. And then that's completely separate from the actual record. And once you dive into the actual record, so you see there's a script. He wrote a script with the album. And so the album is 3 soundtracks in a row. Mm-hmm. The album is sort of like the soundtrack to the script. Mm-hmm. And the pages are lined with, it says Because the Internet on the pages. I don't know if you can read it from the camera. It says Because the Internet right there, which is really cool. And then the other side obviously says Childish Gambino. But you take it out. I love the sleeves. The sleeves are very, very eccentric and
that's cool.
Fit the mood of the album. The discs themselves are just black, so there's really nothing special about those. But the script is like an actual script.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so it's basically just like scans of the script. I don't think I've ever seen this. And you're supposed to like read along as the album is playing, and so it's just like a really cool
interactive
experience. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, this is probably one of my top favorite records as well.
It's awesome. I've never seen these inserts. This art is really cool.
It's really in 180, so it's like very high quality. But yeah, that's like I said, that's like such a fun thing when you're buying something and then you don't really know what you're going to get, but you know you want it anyway. Mm-hmm. You know, and so it's like, okay, they could send you
and then it becomes like a canvas for even another memory, you know what I mean? Because
exactly.
You went to the show, took it with you, and
that's something you'll be able to like pass on and stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
And the Glassnote rep, who was like kind of running the record company, was like kind of running the whole meet and greet. He was like, "Man, you must be a big Glassnote fan." And I was like, "Yeah, I have a bunch of Mumford records because they were on Glassnote as well." And so I was like,
"Really? They were on the same record company? Mm-hmm. Weird."
Yeah. So
it's cool.
Anyway,
wow, this is a good one.
It is fun. Yeah, I love that one. So.
This is I guess this would be my number 1 favorite record, favorite vinyl that I own.
I got it.
This is the Empyrean by John Frashante.
Guys for John! He's back!
100%.
This is similar to Wes's with Black Holes. It is nothing, there's nothing like uber special about it. It's just his record on vinyl. It is The reason this one is so special to me is it was out of stock for... John is notoriously not about selling things. He's just... His records go out of stock for years at a time. And this was out of stock from the time I started collecting records because I wanted to have it. So it was reissued.
So this was a repressing. You bought it from him. You didn't like buy it on eBay.
No, I bought it from his website. It was reissued in... Ooh. No, that is not the story. I'm sorry. That's the story of the reissue. The original, I have 2 copies, and I gave one to Wes.
You did?
I gave Wes the reissue. The original I bought was the last one in stock on his website.
Whoa.
So I bought that, and then the reissue was multiple years later. I was like, I have to get another... Because he remastered it as well. So Wes has the remastered one. This is the original one.
That's cool.
But I still did wait a long time for it to come out because it came back in stock and it was the last one.
And you're still waiting on multiple other Frashante records to be
I did
pressed.
get curtains recently.
Yeah.
Recently they released another one. So
John, re-release Shadows Collide with People, please.
You're back. So
very simple blue inserts and black vinyl. So
Sweet. Next up, I have Empire by Angels and Airwaves, their second record. This one is very special because of when I got it and where. We were going down to San Diego for my wedding.
for your bachelor
party.
Yeah.
We were all in California for my wedding. And we...
Well, that's not really why we were there. But
That's right. Yeah. I was there for
He
the
was there
wedding.
for the record.
Sean was the only one there for the wedding.
Oh, okay. But we went down to the store, the To The Stars store in Encinitas, California. For those of you that don't know, Tom DeLonge of Blink and Angels and Airwaves has a company called To The Stars. They do clothes, movies, books, all kinds of stuff. But he had a store in Encinitas for a while. I believe it's closed now. I think they might be moving locations or something. But similar to John, not quite as bad. The AVA records go out of print a lot as well.
Yes. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The only one I have is their new one because I can never find,
Yeah.
you know.
This is the only one I have besides Lifeforms. Peyton got lucky and has all of the
That's
first
hard
4.
work. It's dedication and hard work. That's not luck.
You have the first 4.
We don't need to whisper. I have Empire.
You have
Mine's-
Stomping Phantom Break
I have
Pedal
to
as well.
mention mine's signed.
Yeah.
It
My
is.
version of this is
V?
signed. And then I have Love 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I have Stomping the Phantom Brake Pedal. I have everything except basically I got Lifeforms as well. Dreamwalker.
Yeah.
Did they ever press Dreamwalker?
Mm-hmm.
They did? Okay.
Yeah, that's like one of the only one that's readily
Still,
available.
yeah.
And I think it's because he doesn't own the rights to reprinting this because it was on a record label as opposed to the last few releases have not been.
Interesting. Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure.
That
But
sounds like something that would happen.
this is special because of when we got it. I think Peyton,
You
got
bought
it.
the display one off
It
the
was the
shelf.
display one.
yeah.
It was the last It was the last vinyl in the store.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you bought it for me as a present.
Have you bought any of your own
No.
records? Okay.
Peyton's
Just
bought
kidding.
my entire record
I'm
collection.
kidding.
But the photo on the inside is amazing.
Yeah,
It sounds
super
like
cool.
it. Yeah. Oh, that is really
Just
cool.
watch the YouTube
I will.
stream
I'll have
later,
to watch
okay?
it.
But yeah, so
That's cool.
the moment that we got it was really cool and special. It was literally the last one in the store, and I don't think it's been repressed since buying it.
The only one I have-
did see that a upcoming date on Amazon for We Don't Need to Whisper and this stuff coming out again. So we might keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. I
but
need
yeah.
to. You guys have them, but
I need to get the first one. But yeah, so
That's
it was
cool.
just a special weekend, a special week, having all of you guys out there for my wedding and being able to get it. It does have an orange
It's orange.
that's really cool.
record. But yeah, it's possibly my favorite of theirs as well. It's hard to say. Those first 4 are all really, really, really
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. My next one is the Secret Life of Walter Mitty soundtrack. So this is there are a couple different versions of the soundtrack, and I looked it up.
This map cover
which
is
has
really
been
cool.
very difficult for me because I've been wanting to get this for a long time.
Yeah.
Since I watched the movie, I've been wanting to get this one. And I've only ever seen
The score. Yeah.
available. I want the soundtrack as well. So
there's
and
a
it's been difficult
score.
to find.
It's a different cover.
And it's just a single disc. And so this is the actual soundtrack. So first of all, I love the movie. I love everything that is in the movie. He is a digital photographer or a analog photographer living in a digital age. The digital age is ushering Life magazine to digital only. And he's kind of like the last of his kind. You know, I love everything about the movie. And when I remember watching it in theaters, I said, dang, the soundtrack is great. So I wanted to get it, and it's just this big extension of the movie, basically. And I love the cover, and then
The matte cover is
Yep.
really
It's
cool.
not glossy. It's matte finished.
and then you open it up, and it's him in the
helicopter.
helicopter.
It's
Just
a
like
great photo
great
on the-
shot of the movie. And then him walking past
one's
the
so cool.
astronaut. And this is sort of what I have in mind for Square Jaw. This composition
Oh,
in
yeah,
terms
yeah,
of
yeah.
like Luke. But yeah, maybe because of this. But and then I love the jackets inside. Because they're like big film stills,
Yeah,
you know. Which is really cool. So
that's a really cool one right there.
but yeah.
It's called
So-
Ghost Cat Walter Mitty.
Sometimes I don't. But yeah, so I think this one, I think it's pretty exclusive. I don't think you can
I
find
haven't
it.
been able to find. I've been very much looking for it.
I think it's out of
for-
print, yeah.
Yeah, for a number of years, and it's still not available.
Is it not even available? Like people reselling it on eBay?
That's probably the only
Probably.
place you can find it, yeah.
But it's uber expensive.
Sure.
Yeah. So
It is pretty crazy how high prices on vinyl shoot up if it's out of print.
Yeah.
Like it could be anything, and if it goes out of print, just boom, $400.
Just because there's a question mark on when it will ever be printed again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had my most valuable record probably was Brand New's second album. I had Deja and Tendu on vinyl. And I bought it from the Jenna, the music manager at Vintage
Yeah.
Stock. I bought it from her because she's the first person I'd ever heard of had a copy of it. And I was like, dude. And so I bought it from her for I think I bought it from for like $180. And that was a deal.
Yeah.
And I sat on it, and I went and saw him in St. Louis. I got the guitarist to sign it, and I was like, dang, this is one of my favorite records I might ever own. It's out of print, blah, blah, blah. And then there were rumors of it getting pressed again, and I was like, I love this because he signed it, not because it's a first pressing. I think I have to sell it. And so I sold it for like $300, something insane. It's just a piece of plastic. And then they repressed it, and I just bought a normal copy, right? It's because I just want it on vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's sort of like it's not a risk if you're looking at it in terms of an investment, but it's like, if it never gets repressed again, there are 5,000 copies. And if no one wants to get rid of it, you can't get one.
Yeah.
It's just, especially in like the digital age of music,
Oh, yeah.
that's really hard to process.
Yeah.
It's like, why
and
can't I have it?
That's becoming
There's no
more and
Yeah.
more of a reality with how hard it is to press things on vinyl
True.
right now. So.
Yeah.
And I think the crazy thing is like I have a Amazon cart with just like the big ones that I want to get and just like kind of saved for later. And every so often I'll go back through it, and almost always after 2 or 3 months, the prices have changed and they've all gone up because the number of copies is just dwindling.
Shrinking,
and
yeah.
some of them are gone, and the price is like $400 when it was $30
Yeah.
a year ago.
That's
you know.
crazy.
Anyways,
Last ones for each of us,
Last
right?
one for me
Yeah.
is Random Access Memories by Daft Punk.
This might
Rip.
not stand up anymore.
Yeah, good point.
here.
Oh, it's the gatefold. Yeah, perfect.
This is the reason I threw this one in there is this is an example of something that I think is an intangible thing. It's a subjective thing, but I think there are certain albums that belong on vinyl. I think that there are certain recordings, there's certain types of music that work better on a vinyl record than other things. I think a good example, a good distinguishing example is something like Blink-182 is cool to have on a record. It is highly compressed music. The higher compressed the music, the less it's going to breathe on a record.
Mm-hmm.
If there's more dynamics on a mix, that's going to work better for a vinyl. And this is a shining example of something that just sounds, it's obviously the reason I own it is because I love the music, and I think it's one of the best records of the last 10 years, I think. Maybe 20 years. I think it came out in 11 or 12, 13.
13.
I think.
Yeah, 2013.
I think it's one of the best records
knew that
of the
off
past
the top of my head. So
10, 20 years. But also that part of it is...
and the fact that it's their last record now.
It is their
Since
last
they
record.
have-
I mean, that picture is really cool.
sounds like it.
I mean, that is
Whoa.
their one of their synthesizer / keyboard things that they use live, I think. But it's just standard black on regular sleeves. But it is something that musically, this is why vinyl is so cool to me, is because the sound of it, they belong together. So.
Yeah.
Daft Punk, you belong together.
Get back together, please.
Well, what the frick is this?
So I will explain.
Whoa.
So this is my honorable
I
mention.
love Radiohead.
This is my obligatory Radiohead record. They just re-released this. So Kid A and Amnesiac are albums that Radiohead recorded at the same time during the same sessions. And they had an inkling they wanted to release it as a double album, but didn't feel like they should. They at that time, it was 2001, I believe, they felt like double records were kind of dead and didn't really want to do one. So they released them as separate records like a year and a half apart or something like that. But over time, fans have really come to realize that they really are two halves of one thing. And they re-released it this year this past year for the anniversary of it as the double album that it was kind of originally thought as. So on one side you have, and it's called Kid Amnesia now, as opposed to Kid A and Amnesiac. So on one side you have the Kid A record, and then on the other side, flipped, you have the Amnesiac album artwork. It's a triple LP.
Whoa.
And it's got some crazy Stanley Donward.
Excuse me?
Donward?
You could say anything, I believe.
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
that sounds right.
Don Wood, sorry.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Album art on the inside.
That's beautiful.
The albums are just standard black.
That's even more. That's exactly what I was picturing.
But I thought it was just a really interesting way to re-release something that was originally two records as one.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like retroactively putting them together because they were always meant to be together.
Yeah.
And they're only like kind of good.
I think
Well,
that's
the crazy thing is these are two of lower on my list of favorites in terms of their stuff, but it's probably the coolest vinyl release that they've done.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I think the thing about vinyl, and this is a good example of this too, is bands especially, and people that are releasing stuff, know that something like this, does this exist on, I mean, I'm sure they did a CD and everything.
I don't know.
Is it a vinyl only?
I think it might be a vinyl only, but I'm not sure. No.
So
They did a CD release as well.
He can't remember.
But something like this, they know that the people that are going to buy it are super fans.
Yeah.
Like they are, you know, they can charge $50 or $60 for something special, and then you get all of the stuff that's in there.
And this
value.
is not even the highest end version of this that they did.
Oh, really?
They did another one with a book, like a super high quality album art book, as well. And I think it also had a cassette tape or something with it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not saying by any means that if you collect records, you're a bigger fan of someone. I just mean
something
you can
this,
tell that's why they're doing these kind of things.
Then they re-released OK Computer as well, which was their big record, and they re-released it as a triple LP as well, changed the album art a little bit, gave it an extra title of OK Not OK kind of at the end of it, all for the anniversary releases. The dorky vinyl collector thing that I love about this is triple LPs can suck to package, and their OK Computer one is one of the ones that folds out in the middle.
Yeah.
And
It's tough.
putting it on my now playing stand, it always wants to fall off.
Yeah.
This one stays together and stays compact because of the way they just did it like a book. So that's just a dorky collector.
That's the first
thing.
one I've seen of it with like a page in the middle.
Yeah.
It's the first one I've seen that.
So it works so much better than doing the gatefold for 3 records.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my honorable mention. I just thought it was a really cool example of what can be done with a vinyl.
Yeah. My last one is the Mumford & Sons Road to Red Rocks Special Edition boxed set. I think this
It's a
was...
live record, right?
Yes, this was released in, let me see here. If I had to guess,
Which you do.
13, but
Okay.
2013. Let's freaking go. So, this was released in 2013, and it was the sort of, and like I said, I'd only been probably collecting for a year or so at the time, and so I'm kind of getting the idea of like, oh, when it's sold out, that means you can't get it. Oh, okay, interesting. So they just might not make this again. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I was kind of learning that about the vinyl industry, and so this was pre-order only in like October 2013 or something, and I kind of explained to my parents, I was like, hey, I want this for Christmas, but you just can't get it for me for Christmas. You have to pre-order it now, and I'll get it for Christmas, but you can't just be like, oh, we'll get that for him in December. It's like, that's not how this works, but this is the only thing I want for Christmas. And they were like, okay, yeah, sure. And so whatever, we walked through and they pre-ordered it, and I didn't think anything about it. And when it came in, I was like, whoa. And so it's very cool. It's just a black matte box.
Ooh, that's a classy cover.
With gold trim. And yes, everything in here is related to the show that they played at Red Rocks. And this was at the height of like, Little Lion Man and
the folk era
Babel.
of Mumford & Sons.
Yeah, and so it's like they weren't this massive band, and then they didn't play Red Rocks and become massive, but it was like this was really the first time they could sell out Red Rocks, and it was really special. So it has this black and white jacket, and it's a gatefold, and it opens to them at the end of their show in full living color, and it's just really, really cool because you can see it's such a high quality photo. You can see all the people, and you can see like Mumford craze in full glory.
We all felt it. We all felt the Mumford craze.
Yeah, and it's got it's a lined insert as well. This I just keep in here. This is a record store exclusive release, but I just keep it in here for safekeeping. And then they have a Road to Red Rocks
Holy crap.
book, like hardcover book about this tour and kind of what led them to Red Rocks. So it's very, very cool. And it's got
Looks
Winston and Marcus and Ted kind of talking about it, and it's got full page color photos, and anyway, it's very cool.
Wow.
And then it has a hand numbered insert, vinyl press insert on
Oh yeah, I see.
Stationary.
Yeah, on stationery. So it's full color, and it looks like there's only 200, which is cool. So
That's
Wow,
awesome.
that
it's got
is
the date of the
classy.
shows, and yeah. So I this is honorable mention.
They really embraced the Colorado kind
Definitely.
of national park look on
Yeah.
that.
So
Did
anyway,
you tilt that? Never mind. You're good. You tilted it up.
I did, yeah. And then the songs on here are just from the show, so it's the live recording of this. So that's one of my favorites, just because the production. I mean, it's there, and I think the show's really good. Sometimes I'll be listening to the regular songs, and I'll be like, I like in the live version when he does this instead. So that's cool because the show is also good. You don't have to put it on top of all the others. Probably not a good idea, but anyway, yeah, I thought this would be a fun episode. I think I had the idea
liked it.
in
That
like
was really
season
fun.
1 or something, but I was, just
We're gonna just keep putting it off for
Yeah,
other
and,
things.
I think it would have been less fun if we
I
didn't
agree.
have them with us and doing the video.
I
for
agree,
sure.
and I think that our collections have only grown, and so it was like probably more fun to. You probably wouldn't have had that one,
Nope,
when we first
yeah.
did it. So yeah, I think this is a fun episode. I just wanted to maybe people out there new to vinyl, they think it's just pretentious. They maybe think it's not worth it or whatever. it has value more than just the music, I think. And I
Yeah.
thought that would be an interesting thing to talk about. So
And some of it does depend on like if you're a person that likes collecting things, there's an appeal to it for that too.
yeah,
It's fun to go kick around a record store even if you don't buy anything.
I was
you know?
I was gonna mention that is another big part of vinyl collecting that is really fun. It's
It's the hunt.
the hunt of it. I mean, I could spend 12 hours in Amoeba, or I could spend
Yeah.
you know
yeah,
9 hours in a regular small record store. I mean, they're so dense.
Yeah.
I would say that's a big part of the fun of record collecting. Is you don't really do that in any other aspect of music consuming. I think that's a big part of it too.
yeah. Like, oh, I have this in yellow, but I don't have it in purple. Oh, I have this, like, this is like a different cover of the one that I already
The
have. Or,
variations,
oh, I've
for
never
sure.
seen this. Yeah, it's all very cool. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
YouTube exclusive content.
We
The
appreciate
episode.
you all so much. So I am Jake. And
I am Wes signing off.
I'm also Wes saying goodbye.
See you next time.
we will keep it spinning or something. Spin.
Yeah. Catch you on the next. Let's flip that side.
Yes, flip the side.